Oh, look, America. Fuck that turn down the rhetoric. Donald Trump has threatened 93 million motherfucking people with genocide. So put the handcuffs on that bitch. Put that motherfucking pamper down and lock his motherfucker.
Let's bring in MS Now senior national security reporter David Rohde, longtime Pentagon reporter Barbara Starr, author of Barbara Starr Reports on Substack, and retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General Ben Hodges. Guys, I have to warn you, we may have to interrupt at some point because of the King's arrival, but let's try to get in as much as we can. And David, first, I want to start with you. What more can you tell us about this move by the UAE?
It's part of, I think, their frustration with the war, that they felt that not enough has been done by the U.S. and other Arab allies. So it's another blow to OPEC, which was the dominant trader, in the world in terms of oil, but it'll weaken OPEC. And it's a sign, I think, of the stakes, again, of resolving this conflict as soon as possible with Iran. And we see the oil prices continue to go up this morning already. David, what else can you tell us about what we're hearing was a meeting with the president, his national security team, over this proposal that Iran has offered? So just a few minutes ago, the president posted on Truth Social. Again, it wasn't anything startling, but he basically said Iran is again begging for us for a deal. He said that Iran is on the verge of collapse. Apparently, he's talking about economically. But I've talked to analysts about this, and they feel there's a danger that the administration is relying too much on a belief that Iran is collapsing economically and how much pain they can endure. There was a number that the president cited over the weekend that the Iranian oil system, if they, don't start exporting oil, will sort of collapse and even be damaged within 3 days. That's not accurate, according to oil experts.
Oh, look, America. We don't want to hear that motherfucker shit about these crocodile tears of what Erica Kirk been crying and spilling and the rest of these MAGA motherfuckers. Every time that MAGA can paint itself with a brush of grievance, make itself a victim, they lean in. The greatest example, of course, was the insanity in Arizona. The fucking Charlie Kirk Memorial. What a fucking disaster. White nationalists, MAGA motherfuckers, all of them worshiping an idol, Charlie Kirk. That's the shit I'm talking about. Put the motherfucking handcuffs on all of them. Turn their motherfucking ass around. Spin them again. Lock all they motherfucking ass up. Erica Kirk and the whole motherfucking justice system that's going along with this motherfucking shit. Donald Trump, the White House, all you motherfuckers need to be in jail.
I just want to go find you.
Hey, can somebody tell me where this crybaby pacifier at? Hey, when y'all find that pacifier, let me know if y'all found that baby bill too. I need a diaper for her too. That fucking crybaby ass bitch.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men just like the one who took his life.
Oh, shut up, bitch.
Oh, look, America. Donald Trump is a adjudicated rapist who has been accused by scores of motherfucking women of sexual assault. He is a con man. He is a liar. He's indecent. And his Slovenia model wife is wrapped up into this Jeffrey Epstein travesty. That bitch know she was down with it too. He is demanding that ABC new CEO fire Jimmy Kimmel because he said some shit about Melania Trump. I tell you what you can do with ABC, Donald Trump, and that motherfucking bitch, Melania Trump. Put the handcuffs on. Spin they motherfucking ass around. Kick all of them in their motherfucking ass. Now lock all they motherfucking ass up. Who the fuck Donald Trump think he fucking is can stop us from talking? Fuck Donald Trump.
It couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And she would not have been the chosen one.
When you heard that, what did you think?
I laughed out loud. I couldn't believe that he was using that word like some sort of cult figure. I personally believe he has convinced himself that it didn't happen. He is a predator of women. I was not the first. Of course, I was not the last. But there have been enough so that he doesn't remember.
And President Trump and his wife are calling on ABC to fire late-night host Jimmy Kimmel after a controversial joke about the First Lady. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Kimmel described Melania as having the glow of an expectant widow during a mock White House Correspondents' Dinner routine. The comment came just days before a man was arrested for allegedly trying to breach the real event. The Trumps called the joke hateful and dangerous. ABC has not responded.
Oh, look, America. King Charles from England came to America today to do a speech and told Donald Trump and the Congress about checks and balances. That's how you do that, motherfucker. Lock his motherfucking ass up. Lock it.
Our Declaration of Rights of 1689 was not only the foundation of our constitutional monarchy, but also provided the source of so many of the principles reiterated, often verbatim, in the American Bill of Rights of 1791. And those roots go even further back in history. The US Supreme Court Historical Society has calculated that Magna Carta is cited in at least 160 Supreme Court cases since 1789, not least as the foundation of the principle that executive power is subject to checks and balances.
Oh, look, America. It takes for King Charles to come to America to tell Congress, the Republican Congress, about checks and balances on Donald Trump. They are stupid. Lock all in.
King Charles has no power to decide British government policy, but the pomp and circumstance of the royals is a powerful diplomatic tool with world leaders who seem to enjoy it, like President Trump. In Washington, plans are going ahead for a state banquet, and the king will address a joint session of Congress.
I said, why don't you send some ships over? And he really didn't want to do it.
The King's visit could help reset the UK's relationship with President Trump, who recently criticised the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, for his reluctant response to the Iran war. Trump also caused offence here by dismissing British aircraft carriers as toys. We spent time on one of them just last year.
So much of it is what you don't say.
Julian Payne was a communications advisor to Charles before he became king.
The US Supreme Court Historical Society has calculated that Magna Carta is cited in at least 160 Supreme Court cases since 1789, not least as the foundation of the principle that executive power is subject to checks and balances.
Oh, look, America. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, the stupidest son of a bitch I ever seen in my life, that hoe there, put out a fucking picture with Donald Trump and King Charles, and at the title of it are saying two kings, like Donald Trump is a king. America, Donald Trump ain't no motherfucking king. He's a 34-count, adjudicated, convicted motherfucking felon. He's been charged with sexual assault. Donald Trump is a crook. Spin this motherfucking ass around. spin that bitch again. Drop his motherfucking pamper. Lock his motherfucking ass up from trying to say he a motherfucking king. Kiss my motherfucking ass. Lock his motherfucking ass.
Ready doors, ready closed, ready shut, ready face, forward march.
Oh, look, America, Donald Trump is using this recent incident of a motherfucker slanging an iron at him at the Hilton to get himself built a ballroom/club on side of the White House. Fuck all that. Put the motherfucking handcuffs on him. Lock his mother...
We looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
Oh, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking motherfucking news. Okay, Pete Hegseth, America, is back in the hot seat. Cocaine Pete Hegseth has been doing crimes since he's been in the government. He has committed war crimes, he has committed sexual assaults, he has committed multiple other crimes. But now, Cocaine Pete Hegseth is flying his motherfucking buddy around, the stupid ass Kid Rock motherfucker, in a military motherfucking helicopter around America, having fun. Cocaine Pete Hegseth has been known to be a bad drinker of Miller High Life. I tell you what we can do with him. Put the handcuffs on that bitch. Spin him around. Now lock his motherfucking ass up. And every motherfucker by there at the military who letting this motherfucker go down.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says he went for a ride with Kid Rock in an Army attack helicopter just weeks after an Apache helicopter crew was briefly suspended for a flyby at the musician's house. A Pentagon spokesman says Monday's flights at a Virginia military base were part of an America 250 anniversary event. Hegseth personally shut down the investigation into the previous flight at Kid Rock's house in Tennessee, which saw the Apache helicopter hovering in the air as the musician saluted. Kid Rock is an outspoken supporter of President Trump.
At the Mar-a-Lago Super Bowl party, after the first two quarters, are the TVs going to be on the halftime show with Bad Bunny or the halftime show with Kid Rock?
I think the president would much prefer a Kid Rock performance over Bad Bunny, I must say that.
The former Fox News host, nominated as Secretary of Defense, settled a threatened lawsuit brought by a woman who accused him of sexually assaulting her in his hotel room 7 years ago. His attorney said Pete Hegseth strongly felt that he was the victim of blackmail and the woman was the aggressor in initiating sexual activity. He says Hegseth was afraid of being fired from Fox over the allegation and paid the woman an undisclosed sum. In return, she signed a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, look, America. King Charles made a speech talking about checks and balances, which is in our Constitution from the 1700s on to the day. Now, when he's talked about checks and balances, the Democrats jumped up and started clapping, but these sick-ass Republicans got up and started clapping like they are putting the brakes on Donald Trump and checking balances on Donald Trump like we supposed to be motherfucking doing. They clapping with the Democrats like they are doing that kind of shit. America, the Republican Party is sick. They are Donald Trump's sycophants. You some of them bitches. Spin these motherfucking ass around. Put the handcuffs on. Kick them in the ass. Now lock all they motherfucking ass up, pretending to be some kind of motherfucking check and balance for.
Mr. Speaker, for many here, and for myself, the Christian faith is a firm anchor and daily inspiration that guides us, not only personally, that guides us not only personally, but together as members of our community. Having devoted a large part of my life to interfaith relationships and greater understanding, it is that faith in the triumph of light over darkness which I have found confirmed countless times. Through it, I am inspired by the profound respect that develops as people of different faiths grow in their understanding of each other.
Oh, look, America. Now, I think, real talk though, dog, can you dig it? Donald Trump is a fucking Russian spy. That's what I think. Because his homeboy Putin, who hate America, who helping Iran kill motherfucking Americans right now, is meeting with Iran, where Iran is meeting in Russia with Putin right now, discussing how the fuck to open up the Strait of Hormuz. So the Strait of Hormuz won't be open to America, but they'll be open to everybody else. Donald Trump lied. Donald Trump has always been a fucking liar. He didn't solve no wars. He didn't open no Strait of Hormuz. It's not shut down. It's only shut down for a miracle. Put the handcuffs on Donald Trump, punk ass. Turn his motherfucking ass around. Lock his motherfucking ass up. And everybody in the justice.
Oh, I was a Russian agent. Okay, I was a Russian agent. I used to say, at first I thought they were kidding. When I heard that, I said, yeah, that's sort of funny. I didn't know what the hell I hadn't even spoken to anybody in Russia. You know, they went through 5 million phone calls, and I didn't make one call to Russia.
Russia has sharply criticized the United States after Iran put forward a proposal that did not include any nuclear concessions. A Putin aide later issued a pointed message after Araghchi's visit, urging Washington to reconsider certain positions. Trump appears to be under increasing pressure as Russia signals full support for Iran. There are no clear wins for Trump, as Iran rejects nuclear talks while its ally steps up the pressure.
Oh, look, America. After the motherfucking shooting at the motherfucking lunch with Donald Trump the other day, the motherfucking corporate news got up there quick, immediately, and started talking about we need to get together and we need to turn down the rhetoric and we need to No More Kings Day and Donald Trump need a motherfucking ballroom. What the fuck is wrong with these son of bitches? Fuck Donald Trump. That son of a bitch been in there doing crime since he been in there. Fuck all that shit. Put the handcuffs on this motherfucking ass. Turn this motherfucking ass around. Get jiggy with it. Pull his motherfucking pamper down. Bring motherfucking Pete Hegseth up there, Cocaine Pete. Pull his motherfucking pamper down and put the handcuffs on. Now lock both of they motherfucking ass up. And every motherfucking body in the White House who letting this motherfucking shit go down.
At a most critical time, in the darkest days of the 20th century. American leadership helped rebuild a shattered continent, playing a decisive role as a defender of freedom in Europe. We and I shall never forget that, not least as freedom is again under attack following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Today, our partnerships in NATO and AUKUS deepen our technological and military cooperation and ensure that together we can meet the challenges of an increasingly complex and contested world.
Now let's go back to the U.S. looking to, quote, raise or level Iran's ballistic missile industry. What is the next phase in this war?
Yeah, it sounds like the military is now not just focused on destroying Iran's current missiles and launchers, but focusing on not allowing them to make any more missiles. Admiral Cooper, in a briefing yesterday, said that the next phase will focus on, as you said it, leveling or raising Iran's ballistic missile production. Already, he said the U.S. has targeted hundreds of missiles and launchers, as well as sunk 30 Iranian Navy ships, another objective the military has in this ongoing campaign.
Oh, look, America. Donald Trump is a Vladimir Putin motherfucking duck. The Ayatollah Iran motherfucker just wrapped up a meeting with Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump homeboy. Lock his motherfucking ass up. He a duck for Vladimir.
Iran has reportedly proposed a new peace deal offering to end its blockade and restore shipping through the Strait of Hormuz if the U.S. lifts its military blockade on Iranian ports and also vessels. Now, the proposal also suggesting delaying nuclear negotiations. Secretary of State Marco Rubio weighing in.
They cannot normalize, nor can we tolerate them trying to normalize a system in which the Iranians decide who gets to use an international waterway and how much you have to pay them to use it.
Now, the new offer was reportedly conveyed through Pakistani intermediaries shortly after President Trump abruptly canceled a high-level U.S. delegation trip involving Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to Islamabad over the weekend. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirming Trump did meet with top administration officials earlier today to discuss the new deal. Meanwhile, the new deal comes as oil prices continue to rise, sitting around $108 a barrel. That's as of this morning, with the average price of a gallon of gas right around $4.11.
Oh, look, America. Lindsey Graham is the rainbow senator from North Carolina who never had a wife, never had a girlfriend, never had no kids, and he been in Washington almost 40 motherfucking years working in the Republican Party, and him and Donald Trump are semi-best friends. What do you call that? He's a motherfucker that's out here advocating for Donald Trump for his so-called ballroom / motherfucking club. I tell you what you could do with Lindsey Graham, that boot-licking rainbow from motherfucking North Carolina, who been in the motherfucking government over 40 years and ain't got no girlfriend, old lady or children. You must be a motherfucking pedophile and a rainbow. Lock his motherfucking ass up too, and put the handcuffs on Donald Trump punk ass too, and lock.
And the ballroom. Many people, I think, originally saw it as a vanity project, that President Trump wanted to build this grand ballroom as a, kind of a vanity project. I don't see it that way, and I don't think he ever did. A meeting space that is ultimately secured on the White House grounds that would allow people to do what they did at the Hilton Hotel is necessary. I'm convinced if there had been a presidential ballroom adjacent to the White House, the guy would have never gotten in. You had an event with the line of succession in a ballroom where 1,000 people were in a hotel above it. This guy apparently checked in the night before and was able to get shotguns and pistols and knives and made a rush for the ballroom door, and thank God he didn't make it.